Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and today is the first video of the Dark Angels week, so happy Monday. What you see in front of you are two Green Wing Tactical Marines, and this is one way to paint a Tactical Marine of Dark Angels. So I've decided to include both of these models because they show off a couple of techniques that I can go over. Here we have the Dark Vengeance Veteran Sergeant and a Dark Vengeance Tactical Marine. So I'll start with this guy first. I have decided to improve how the video is done, so I'm going to bring in the colours I use for each step and pop them somewhere here on the screen as well. So first of all, we're just going to have a little look at this model. Now the camera was focusing properly earlier, so hopefully if it wants to do it now, that would be really handy. If not, it might have to be a bit further away. Okay, that'll have to do for now. So here we have the very standard Tactical Marine snap fit, this one. So I'll start with the power armor, so I'm going to pop him down for a second. Here are the colours I've used for it. Both from the Citadel range, the base Caliban Green and the layer Moot Green. Now obviously you can tell which one is the actual colour of the armour, so I used the Caliban Green all over this guy. I think I pretty much painted everything. It was almost like a base coat, almost like when you use your spray to base the model. So it's almost like that. Pretty thorough. And then you can see I've used Moot Green for some edge highlights. Hoping it'll focus if I put it in closer. Nope. But you can see how I've used the Moot Green to highlight that. All the edge highlights and such. Just down there as well on the backpack, and it's very simple actually. I've been managing to turn these around fairly quickly. The Caliban Green goes on really well, and then it's just a case of the Moot Green highlights. So now that I've discussed that, we can go on to the next colour, or next most prominent colour, which are the reds. So for the base on the reds, I've been using Wazdakka, another Citadel layer paint, and Squig Orange for highlighting. Now it's all about being neat here, so you can see I've done the Tactical Marine sign, the bolt gun, the eyes, and the Purity Seal stamped part, based in Wazdakka, and then I've used Squig Orange to catch the edges. So again, just edge highlights, keeping it nice and simple. They're very subtle with the Squig Orange, and there for the Purity Seal too. Very, very subtle, but I think that works out really well. It just adds it just dulls down the amount, like the feel of the red that you get from the Wazdakka, which is really, really good. So I really like the way they came out. I haven't actually highlighted the eyes because it doesn't really need it. I think the shade that I put on the face, I'll talk shades in a second though, it really helped to sort of give two tones for the red. So, and then also a bit of Squig Orange on the back here as well. So we've looked at reds, we've looked at greens. Time to move on to the white. Now the white is done very differently. There are two ways you can do a white apparently. I've only tried the one way, but you can either build it up from a brown to a bone to a white and you have this warm effect, or you can go from a grey and it's this cold effect. So I started with Celestra Grey for this part here, and then did a very, very faint highlight dry brush with the white scar. And it just gives a slightly more natural white effect, because no white is as white as the paint seems to make it. So yeah, it's a much more natural effect of the white. For the metal colours, I only needed one, because I only ever use one really, and that is Lead Belcher, or the old bolt gun metal. So that's for the bolt gun, and an Agrax Earthshade, which I will just show you where, or I'll tell you where I've applied it. So the bolt gun, the backpack parts here, and on the face grills of other Marines, I use the combination of bolt gun and Agrax. That's because it just knocks the shine off of it a little bit, but keeps that metallic effect, and gives it that kind of worn look. Another purpose for the Agrax Earthshade, goodness me, I'll try and not say that wrong too many times, is for the Aquia on the chest, or the Dark Angel's chest symbol. I used Ushabti Bone as a base layer, and after that did an Agrax Earthwash Shade, and really pleased with the way it came out. It just toned it down another level, gets it to fit in a bit more. As you can see, these are painted to what I would refer as like just above tabletop standard. Tabletop can be like 3 colours in my eyes and a wash maybe, whereas this has got a bit of highlighting, so it's just a step above that. Nothing too difficult for beginner painters. And finally, I don't know how clear it's come out on the base, how clear the basing's come out on this, but it's this demonic world idea. So I've used 3 colours for it. It was primed in grey, so I had to first of all lay down Badham Black, which formed, you know, the black undertone you see here. Then I came over with a Xerces Purple dry brush, a bit of a heavy dry brush as well. So a lot of that, I mean, in person you see it more. It's very purple. And then finally, Emperor's Children, another dry brush of that on top, just a very light one to give it an extra tone. And that was pretty much it for this model, actually. That is my Dark Angels Tactical Marine paint scheme, I suppose, the way I do it anyway. So yeah, you can see here, edge highlighting for the most part, washes where appropriate, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to move now on to the Veteran Sergeant, one of my favourite models from the Dark Vengeance box set. Really happy with how he came out, actually. And obviously there are a few different things about this fella to our last one. So the cloak on the front, done in the same way as the thing on the chest, so just do Shabty Bone and a wash. A bit of red highlighting there, obviously. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is the gold. For the Dark Angels thing here, as you can see, it's gold, and it came out as a really rich gold, which is something I've been working on lately, is working with metallics and golds in particular, because there's quite a bit in this army. So, first of all, I come in with a coating of the Auric Armour Gold. As you can see, it separates, so you need to give it a good shake. But Auric Armour Gold, followed by an Agrax Earthshade Wash, and then a fairly heavy dry brush of Runelord Brass. I say fairly heavy, maybe a medium, we'll call it a medium, somewhere between light and heavy, and it just gives it this really rich colour. I don't know how clear that is on the camera, but it gives it this sort of deeper, slightly burnished, worn gold, and it comes out lovely and metallic after that wash if you do the dry brush properly. The other thing that I have worked on, let's see if I can actually get it to focus again. Oh, come on. No. Autofocus is being very silly. The other thing I worked a lot on was the flesh here. So I'm going to take you through how I did that as well. It is a single colour and a shade, but it's a 1-to-1 mixture of Ratskin flesh and Rakarth flesh, which gives you this kind of like regular, I suppose, humanoid tone. And then to accentuate any details in the skin, I did a very light shade of Agrax Earthshade. Now I did not load the brush at all. I put a tiny bit on the end and tried to work that around the whole face. I've also done the eyes. Again, the camera's not really showing it very well because autofocus is being a bit silly. But they're just white with a black dot. And this is possibly my favourite model that I've painted so far. Last thing I'm going to talk about from this list is the plasma pistol. Now you'll probably see this in, there are lots of ways of doing this. I've done a green one on my previous Space Marines, but this is the more traditional blue style of plasma. So I started with a layer of Lothern Blue, and then I took that out with I did a dry brush after of Celestra Grey, and finally a very light dry brush of White Scarf, but mainly around the centre. So it looks here like, you know, some lights coming through the gun this way, and I really like the way it's come out. It shows up even more on the plasma cannon model, which I don't have with me. I have painted it obviously, and then it's the same basing and it's the same everywhere else. This is just the Tactical Marine with a few extra bits that I wanted to cover, like the plasma and the flesh and the gold. So now you've seen this first video with these two, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Have a great Monday. Leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of these two models. I'll see if I can get some better pictures in at the end maybe. Depends on whether this camera's going to function properly or not. I am looking at getting some new stuff, it's just a case of finding the right one. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share it around. Let everyone know that it's Dark Angels Week over here. and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, have fun.